Protesters marching across Israel today demanding that the government agree to a ceasefire hostage release deal with Hamas. They are blocking major roads in what protest leaders are calling a day of struggle. Families of the hostages want to know why the government hasn't responded to the latest ceasefire hostage release proposal that Hamas accepted last week. Well, the family of hostage Nimrod Cohen released a video of his abduction on October the 7th, 2023, to show their opposition to the government's refusal to sign a deal and to its plans to expand the war in Gaza. Well, a short time ago, I spoke to Amy Dror, a protest leader in Israel. He joined us from Hostages Square in Tel Aviv. Have a listen.
Yeah, so first of all, it's a day that was called on by the families of the hostages, and we joined by blocking the highways, blocking the houses of the MPs, and demanding something very basic: the immediate end of the war, the release of all the hostages, and the end of the atrocities in Gaza. Every poll in Israel shows that 80% of Israelis want this. And our goal is to convince our government that doesn't even answer to the Hamas proposal right now. And that's very tragic, especially for the hostages, but also for our soldiers and for every person here in Israel and in Gaza.
We've seen these protests gain momentum, of course, over the past few months, and yet no change, of course, from the Benjamin Netanyahu government. They are yet to respond to the current ceasefire proposal. Qatar has said today that the, quote, ball is in Israel's court. Do you believe there's any possibility that the Prime Minister will change his maximalist approach, given the protests that we are seeing, where you are giving the pressure from the rest of the world?
Sadly, it's a political war. It's a political war that the main goal of this war is to keep Netanyahu in his office. He fears his coalition more than anybody else. He fears the coalition more than the families, more than the protesters. And as I said, every poll show it. I do believe that with the pressure that will come from the people of Israel stopping the country, plus with the pressure that should come from the rest of the world, demanding the immediate end of the war from Prime Minister Netanyahu. I believe if all those things happen together, yes, the war can end now. I do believe that President Trump, if he wanted to, he could have stopped the war today exactly as he did with the Israeli bombers on the way to Iran. It's on his shift and it's on Netanyahu's shift, but both of them, they don't really care about the people or about the hostages, and they need to make the right choice and simply demand some simple things that everybody, like 80% of us, demand. Definitely, most of the people in Gaza demand the same thing.
So what is your message to President Trump today?
Do exactly what you did with Iran. Pick up your phone, call Prime Minister Netanyahu, and tell him, stop the war now, agree to the hostages deal, end atrocities like we saw yesterday in the hospital in Khan Yunis, end it now. And you know, the U.S. is the biggest supporter of Israel. Anything from financial, armed, diplomacy, President Trump can do it in one day, and I really hope he will pick up the phone and end the war and bring peace to this region.
I mean, you know and understand Prime Minister Netanyahu better than most. You wrote recently in a piece for The Statesman, quote, he knows that if he leaves office now, he will go down as the most catastrophic leader in Israeli history. He is nothing like Churchill or Bismarck. Great leaders prevent the situations like the one Israel finds itself in today. Israel is facing increased pressure from so many areas, not least those, once again, protesting with you today at home. Do you believe he can even preserve a decent legacy at this point?
I honestly think that what happened on October 7th, as we call it, the Netanyahu massacre, will always be part of his legacy. But he does have the option to end the war, bring back the hostages, bring some decency to his last days in office, and maybe even lead into the Abraham Accords. So yes, he can do that, but he needs to care about the country, Israel, more than he cares about himself. The moment that this will happen, that's quite simple. Sadly, for the last 2 years or even more, he didn't show that he cares about the country, he just cares about his personal being. Hence, the world must talk. First and foremost, President Trump and every leader of the free world need to require Israel to behave like a democracy and do what's right. And it's a Jewish value more than anything to bring our hostages back. It's a Jewish value to make sure the children in Gaza have food to eat. Enough of this war. No more war. We want to live in a decent place. Hamas are monsters, and we have all the ways in the world to fight the terrorists like we do with many other cases. But the highest priority is our starving, dying hostages. We already lost 42 hostages in captivity. This needs to happen now, and the region needs to come back to its senses. Enough is enough.